guys are pulling an extinguisher, a couple of things to look out for to make sure it's not been discharged already. Check the nozzle cone, because if you go out there, it's happened before where people have used one, hung it back up, thinking when it gets inspected they'll replace it. That's not always true. We'll wait until they get done. But what we're looking for is you want to make sure this is an ABC. If it was a BC or a gas extinguisher, it would not have this gauge, and the only way you can tell if it's charged is to weigh it. So, I'm sorry, for those that didn't hear, this is an ABC extinguisher. It's dry powder chemical. You'll notice the difference on this style. It's got the larger cone. This has just got a nozzle tip to it. It'll still do the same thing, but what that tells you is that that's got more pressure inside the tank. This one has high pressure too, but as soon as it hits that nozzle, think of a shotgun, it's going to start spreading out to cover an area quicker. The weight differences depends on a size like this would be stored near where you have chemicals, gases, where there's a potential for the fire to spread quickly. These are usually used on the smaller ones next to equipment, and even smaller than that for like small vehicles or anything that's fuel powered. So simply with this, I've already pulled the pin on one, we'll use that to test, but it should look like this when you go up to it. That pin should be in place. It should have that tag and then a plastic tag hanging to the side. When you go to fight the fire, we're gonna light this, it's gonna have an actual fire. You wanna get up before you pull the pin close to the fire, but not so close that if you lay down, you'd lay on top of it. So stay about your height, a little bit back. These will go out there quite a distance, but you don't want to pull the pin and walk up to it spraying, because now you're walking into that powder. And then remember, that thing is designed to remove oxygen. So we'll go ahead and light this. Everybody move this way so when we spray it, don't get on you, please. All right, so the reason I'm burning cloth, most of what you'd see inside would be from a textile fire. All right, you don't want to use an ABC or the gas, because if you use the gas style, the carbon dioxide, you can blow the fire and spread it into another area. So what you want to do, you come up, that's an incipient fire. That means it's just beginning. Pull the pin past, that should come up, just drop the pin, don't worry about it. Aim at the base. You want to try and get, because remember, we're thinking of like a candle, that wick. You don't know where the wick is. You don't have to grab the actual end. It is that quick. Never turn your back on a fire, because that thing can reignite as oxygen gets to it, because this will just drop the oxygen for a short period of time. So as you see, it's still smoldering. That means there's heat. The fuel is still there. Now it just needs a good dose of air to reignite. We could possibly reignite that right now just by simply going up and hitting the torch. Because we're the vapors. All right, so it's relit. Who wants to go next? Anybody freezing? You ready? Come on up. So remember, you want to pull the pin, aim at the base, squeeze and go side to side, not up and down, because you don't want to put it up in your breathing space. Squeeze the trigger. So when you're comfortable, walk up, put the fire out.